Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel and Happy New Year. So today's video, I wanted to do a little kind of introduction, get to know me a little bit, and really talk about why I do what I do and how I got started. So let's get into it. So hello, if you it's the first time here, I am Benny. I am a health and weight loss coach. I help women with emotional eating habits and build a healthy relationship with food without restriction. So how I got started in the fitness industry was, first of all, fitness has always been part of my life. It's a passion of mine, and it's something that I've always done since I was very, very young. I actually struggled with my weight for so many years. And throughout the years, I made so many mistakes and also learned so much throughout the years that has led me to where I am today. A few years back, it's been about 6 years ago that I got into the fitness industry. And since it's always been part of my life, I always helped out others. I was always, helping friends and family with workout programs, meal plans, macros, and everything. And I loved it. I loved it so much. And I didn't care that I was doing it for free. I loved doing one-on-one personal training, and I enjoyed it so much to be able to teach someone and see how happy it made them. Not until someone brought it up to my attention, why don't you get certified? Why don't you look into doing this for others as a living? And I never thought about it until that one person, which was actually a coworker, told me about it. And I looked into it. I started my Instagram page, and I just started posting what I was doing. I started helping, I was still giving all the free knowledge. I took a course so that I can be more knowledgeable and help more women achieve the goals that they wanted. I started working with a supplement company where I was doing online challenges, helping women one-on-one, and I loved it. I have loved it since day one. Even though I was still helping so many women achieve the goals that they wanted, part of me also knew that I wasn't providing something to someone that was long-term. Why? Because, like I mentioned earlier, I started my journey at a very young age because I've always struggled with my weight. I was always a yo-yo dieter. And I was always restricting myself from the food I loved. I was on a constant, I developed an eating disorder when I was a teenager into adulthood. And it taught me so much growing up. So a couple years ago, when I was still taking my course, my online course, it just hit me when it talked about where our eating patterns came from. And it mentioned that our eating patterns come from emotional eating. And that just gave me an aha moment for myself, because I realized that my eating patterns were from emotional eating. So I started looking into how to help myself, because at that moment, even though I was helping women and I was at my smallest, but I was still in a caloric deficit. I was always on a diet mentality mode, right? And not until that moment did I realize that, one, I had to heal my relationship with food. Because I had a really bad relationship with food. I was always restricting myself. I was, sometimes binge eating on the weekends because I was always restricting myself. So when I started learning more about that and incorporating that knowledge into myself, I realized that this was a lot more sustainable than just giving someone a meal plan or giving someone a workout program and telling them this is how you're going to lose weight. But in reality, it wasn't long term. It wasn't something that was going to be sustainable because these individuals were not learning how to, one, heal the relationship they had with their food, and they, the tools were not going to be long term. After someone loses the weight, how do you maintain that? How do you carry that long term, right? And when I was going through this, many health coaches, personal trainers were not talking about that. That wasn't part of the fitness industry in the moment. So fast forward to the last 3 years, I decided to look into how to help more women heal relationship with food, how to give them the ability to achieve the goals they wanted long term without having to restrict themselves or giving up the food that they loved, right? Because many times you work with someone and the first thing they do is give you a list of things not to eat. And I knew that I wasn't doing that to myself anymore. And it's not something I wanted to do because I knew it wasn't sustainable. So that is where the love for wanting to teach other women how to achieve what I was achieving, which was, one, loving myself where I was and healing the relationship I had with food and learning the eating patterns I had and what was triggering me in order to make this lifestyle sustainable. I was no longer chasing a number on the scale or a size of jeans. I was now chasing a long-term healthy lifestyle. So that is where my coaching services were born, because they came from, helping myself and healing myself. And I knew that there were so many women, after helping women achieve goals, fitness goals, and regaining the weight because they didn't keep up with it, I knew that I wanted to do something more. And even though I was still posting on Instagram and showing what I ate and working out and motivating people, I wanted to provide more. I wanted to be able to help women achieve an internal change, a transformation that was coming internally. And I have to say, when I started coaching women one-on-one and seeing the results they were getting and them letting me know how they felt and how, the program changed them, was just so rewarding to me, because it was more than just the pounds they had lost. It was a life that they had regained. And that to me was worth so much more than, creating a challenge and when in reality you weren't creating the change you wanted in someone. So that is where I kind of started my business in doing what I do now, and where the love of fitness came from. So that is why now I am so passionate about what I do and what I teach, because I'm no longer providing someone a simple meal plan and a workout program that they can easily download from the internet. I am providing someone to change their life. And I have to say that makes it so rewarding to me. That makes it so powerful to me, to be able to give someone the ability to change and transform the life that they have into something that they want. So a little bit about me is I grew up overweight since I was very young, as little as I can remember. And, it was hard. I grew up being bullied and disliking myself and it was very hard growing up surrounded by thin people and being that fat friend, or being the person that wore the largest size. I disliked it. At the age of 12 years old was when I started my health journey. It was at a very young age, but you know, I did start with healthy habits and changing my eating and working out, but it then developed into something very unhealthy. The more compliments I got, the more people told me how good I was looking in a size 0. That motivated me. That motivated me to want to be thinner. It motivated me to just keep working out and starve myself, and eventually developing an eating disorder. So when I say health and fitness has been part of my entire life, it really, really has. And even though that I've had so many trials and errors along the way, I have to say that now I am the happiest I've ever been. You know, I was able to achieve something that I know I can sustain long term, and not worry about, you know, restricting myself or going into these crazy fad diets to fit into something. I no longer want to fit into a pair of jeans. I now dress myself to feel comfortable, to look in the mirror and love who I see in that reflection. And I have to say, my transformation came from changing my internal and changing my mindset around my own healthy lifestyle. So that is a little bit about myself. That is, you know, how I got started and why I do what I do. I hope that you continue following me, and you know, you subscribe to the channel so that I can continue providing you with, you know, how to change your mindset around food, how to not make the same mistakes I did, and build a healthy relationship with yourself and with the food that you eat. And if there's anything that I left out, or that you would like to know about myself, about my services, or about, you know, my journey, please comment below. And if you haven't hit the notification bell, click on it so that you can get notified when my next video will be up. I will see you guys soon, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll talk to you later.